Okay, I think this is the, I hope this is one of the easiest one. So anybody who's ready to go up and put it on the board, please go ahead and do it. Nadine? Okay. What's that word? Made?
Makes 8.
Okay. Thank you, Nick. Yes.
I think the main idea is the advantage.
Now, before you say anything, don't forget, we want a sentence here. We want a sentence.
The advantages, the advantages of TV in my real life.
Of TV what?
In my real life.
In my way of life?
Real.
Everything real.
Real what?
All the teachers understand when I said my speaking in the book. The advantage of it in my real life.
Why are you putting yourself in this? Okay, try not to do that. Try to remove and say, in this person. Okay, okay. Well, the advantage of TV in the writers. Okay. In the writers' way of life. I didn't know if that's what you said. Way of life. Okay, what's the rest? It has to be a sentence. This is a title. The advantage of TV in the writer's way of life. That's not a sentence. That's a title. So now, the advantage of TV in the writer's way of life is, what is the advantage? Is
useful.
Do you all, does everybody understand what I meant? That has to be, alright, so the advantage of TV to the writer's way of life is, what is the advantage? What is the advantage?
can
Comprehend English.
Oh, is to comprehend English? Okay. All right, can we have one more that we can put on the board? One more, someone put up?
Study language with native speaker on TV is important for foreigners living.
Okay, I'm just going to make it studying, again, what?
Language
Okay.
with native speaker on TV with native speaker. Native
TV is important?
yes, is important
Okay.
for foreigners. For foreigners.
Okay, for foreigners, okay. Okay, very good class. Everybody's doing really well. Before we do this, I just want to try to not use a personal thing like a pronoun, and we'll just say the student.
Yeah.
Okay, Nadine, that's fine, but I just want to take out she and say.
Sure.
Now, Nadine, would you please read yours?
The students went to another country to speak any English. Students spend time to learn program on TV based her comprehension.
Okay, good, good. You got the idea that by watching television, we say, I'm just going to say improved her comprehension. Improved
Yeah.
her comprehension. Okay, very good. All right, the next one.
The advantage of TV in the blindest way of life is to comprehend English.
Okay, so for that writer, and I'm glad yes, in the writer's way of life is to comprehend English. The TV did that. Okay, and the last one. What?
Studying language with native speaker on TV is important for foreigners.
Okay, very good. These are all very good main ideas. Let's hear a few more.
Teacher.
Yes, Mr. Sin.
In this case, for my idea, TV was her second teacher, right?
Yeah, very good. TV was a teacher. She said that. Yes. Okay.
Sure.
Yes, Rob.
English programs is a part of learning to be fast in learning English language.
Okay, very good. Rob, would you repeat it?
English programs is a part of learning to be fast in learning English language.
Very good. Yes. Rob?
The way to improve English by watching TV.
Okay, and Rob, that's very good. And I just want to make it a sentence by saying the way to improve English is by watching TV. Okay, fine. I had something very brief, which was a non-native speaker learned English through TV.
Teacher, what is your main idea?
I just read it.
The 1 and 2 and 3.
One, I wrote, for this homebound writer, TV brings the whole world into her home. Homebound homebound means you can't get out of the house. We say the person is homebound. Homebound, can't leave the house. You know, it could be a person who's either elderly or disabled. Homebound, it could be a child, disabled. The second one, I have a child who was addicted to TV, began to get strange ideas about reality and wanted everything he saw on commercial. When his parents... Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Thank you very much. A child who was addicted to TV, began to get strange ideas about reality and wanted everything he saw on commercials. When his parents put the TV in the garage, he learned to be creative. And the last one is, a non-native speaker learned English through TV. Some of you did better things putting the word comprehension in, which I didn't. I tend to rush through these things. But it's very clear to me that all of you understand main idea, and I think it's wonderful. Any question or comment? C, I'm waiting for you to disagree with the main idea.
No paragraph. Paragraph C.
Yeah, what's your main idea?
Seem to write or write on the board, but I have my way to write.
Well, would you want to tell us your main idea?
Yes, seem to be write on the board or on the board. But if I write it, I will write.
Do you want me to write it?
Non-native speaker learning English on TV program and getting to got better.
Non-native speaker. What? Please.
Learning English.
Okay, let's say learn. Let's say past tense. Learn English
on TV program.
Okay, that's good. That's very good. That's it. That's what it's about. A non-native speaker learned English through TV. That doesn't mean there are other ways you can express it, but that's good. All right, we'll take a short break, class, before we start the next. Because it's 10 after. If anybody wants 5 minutes, please take it now. these words we're going to discuss from the reading, which is on page 128.
Explain me aggressive.
That's why I put it on the board. In the reading, you're going to see that one of the men says that in a certain situation, the women were too aggressive. Oh, no, the men were too aggressive. Well, anytime a person is aggressive, they appear very strong, not necessarily good. Aggressive, let me just take this, driving, you know? Some people will say if you drive in a big city like Bangkok or New York, you have to be an aggressive driver. You have to be out there pushing ahead. You can't be just, you know, just driving along. You've got to, you kind of force yourself. And if somebody says in a social situation, the men are too aggressive, they're forcing, like this, in this situation, it was men and women. And it said the men were too aggressive with the women, meaning the men were like forcing themselves on the women too much. Not physically, just in their manner.
This personality aggressive.
Some people have an aggressive personality. They're not usually it's not usually great to be somebody who's always aggressive, because this person always wants to come on strong before anybody else. Now, sometimes you have to be aggressive in certain situations in life. I wonder what is the Thai word for again?
Aggressive.
Aggressive.
Chair, how about this sentence? The woman asked the restart very cold.
Okay, because they said in this situation, the men were if the men came on so strong, the women like pull back and become very cold. Because the men were too aggressive, they came on, that's an expression, came on too strong. So the women pulled back and became cold. You know, cold was not warm, because they didn't want to be around these men. They were too aggressive. Okay? You know, another thing, sometimes aggressive is used so many ways. If we say the salesman was too aggressive, so let's suppose I'm in a store and I'm interested in buying a TV, but the salesman who's selling it comes right in front of me and keeps talking about the TV. so strong, I don't want to hear about it anymore. I move away because the salesman is now too aggressive. Clear? All right, we'll look at the words, please. I'll ask you to repeat the words and we'll talk about them. Date, roommate, guy, wedding, match, aggressive, awful, rate, wonderful, dating service, arranged marriage. Now in that first column, guy, you know a guy just refers to a male, but I just want to point out that guy, which is a word I use a lot, but it's very informal English. I would never use it in a business situation. If somebody said, you know, who's running this department, I wouldn't say that guy over there. I'd say that gentleman over there. So guy is informal. Okay. I think you know, well, that roommate, just a person you live with. But I mean, a roommate is not like a family member. It's usually at school, when you have a roommate at school.
Share the room.
Pardon?
Share the room.
Share a room. Good, thank you. Yes, you share a room. All right, we discussed aggressive. I think you know the others. Oh, dating service. What is a dating service? Can anybody tell me? They've become very common now, I think probably here too. A man wants to meet a woman wants to meet a man, they go pay for a dating service. There are all kinds. Now, many of them are online. And you fill out a form, like a profile about yourself, and they try to match you with somebody. Clear? Nav, I can see the question in your eyes, even in my dark glasses.
No, you misunderstand, teacher.
Oh, okay. All right, fine, as long as you understand. Okay, now, arranged marriage. You know, there are parts of the world, especially years ago, but even now, where a man and a wife, a woman or man, don't choose each other. Parents arrange the marriage. That still takes place in many parts of the world. In this article, they also say a matched marriage. I've never heard that expression. I've only heard arranged marriage. Yeah, I've just never heard that expression. Arranged marriage.
Sorry, teacher.
Yes.
Dating agency is the same dating service.
Exactly. Very good. Exactly, Nadine. Dating service, dating agency, same.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
จัดหาคู่บริษัทจัดหาคู่
ใช่เหรอ
dating service บริษัทจัดหาคู่ส่วนไอ้เนี่ยคือผู้ใหญ่จัดหาผู้ใหญ่
In the United States now, it has become very common for men and women to meet each other through a dating service on the internet. Now very popular, very common. And what's interesting is that in the Sunday New York Times, they often have a write-up on a wedding. Tell you the mother's, the wife's parents, the father's parents, and so on. But now I've noticed they often tell you that this couple met through, one of them I just saw recently, Match.com. They even tell you the name of the dating service.
The future, I thought I need to, the dating service, I need to use it.
Me too.
Well, why not? I'm sure they have it in Thailand online, right?
Teacher, take me out. On Saturday, TV program name Take Me Out.
Or take me out? So, no, how does it work? How does the program work? Does somebody go on?
30 women and 1 man.
I've seen, they have that in the States too, yeah.
You can see the TV on Sunday. afternoon.
But I need 10 bad violation.
Take me out.
Okay, we'll talk about it more as we do that. Now, a couple of other words here. Notice it says meeting the perfect mate. Now, in the United States, where this is directed, mate means usually your marriage partner. But the word mate is used differently by Australians, and I mentioned that. We have a lot of Australians in Bangkok, and the word mate just means friend in Australia.
Teacher, the dating service, I confused. Would you please?
Dating service? Okay, so, no, a woman or a man. A woman wants to meet a man. So she looks up dating services. She probably would go on the internet, and they mention many of them. And what they usually ask you to do is to complete a form, which you can do online, where you talk about yourself. What are your interests? What's your education? How old are you? What kind of man are you looking for? Okay? Then they go through all the applications that the men have sent in, and they try to match the woman and the man. So then the dating service notifies me, here is Joe Smith that you can meet on next Saturday or something.
I need perfect man.
Well,
โอ้โหเงียบตลอดเลยแต่คุยเรื่องนี้เลยนะ not begin to talk about this of the program. Not for her son and sister.
But I want to tell you there are all kinds of dating services because, for example, some people only want to meet people of a certain religion. For example, Jewish people in the States have a lot of Jewish dating services, so that you're only going to meet a Jewish guy or a Jewish gal, or any other religion, you can think about. Also, some people only want to meet people who have certain degrees. And then they only get people who have certain degrees to meet. I mean, it's really become such a big thing. And I have met people who have gone out with 30 people in a dating service. You just keep going out. As long as you pay your fee, they'll just keep matching you up.
Yes, I wish in the future.
Okay. Now, class, I don't want to make a big issue of this, but I do have to mention it. I feel I should, because, we now have same-sex marriage in the United States, in many states, where women marry women and men marry men. So you would have a special dating service for a woman who wants to meet a woman and a man who wants to meet a man. But they have those. Okay, now, they mentioned graduate seminar. I just want to mention to you the word graduate means graduate school is any school after a bachelor's degree. So when you're going for a master's degree, you are going to graduate school, or a doctorate, graduate school. If you go to medical school, you're going to graduate school. Law school is a kind of graduate school. Well, I think it's not here. Let's forget that. But seminar is just, instead of having a lecture, as you have in most colleges, you might have a professor and a lot of students who sit around and have a discussion. That's what a seminar is.
It's like conference.
Yes, except that you're usually a graduate course that you're getting credits for. But you're right, it's set up like a conference. All right, now potential, I put this up because this comes in here, but it's an important word, potential, very important word, because it means possible. Possible. So, the potential husbands and wives. So I go to a dating service, and I'm a woman, and so I want to meet a husband. So the dating service gives me 10 profiles, and they say they're potential husbands for you, possible ones. But potential is used in many other ways. When we talk about a child, maybe a child, a the school might say to a parent, your child has a lot of potential. He should go to college because he has a lot of possibilities of getting more degrees. He has a lot of intellectual potential. Just possibilities, okay? Now, arranged marriage or matched marriage, you know, is when usually parents choose the partner for the son or daughter. Still happens in many places. Common interest, common is important. Things that both people are interested in. So a man might say about a girl, I don't want to, there's no sense in my going out with her. We have no common interests. She loves music, I don't like music. She loves reading, I don't like reading. We have nothing in common. I like to go to movies, she doesn't like to go to movies. All right. And we talked about aggressive. All right, we'll read this and see then if we have, then we'll discuss it after you read it. Finding the perfect mate. For the past month, I've been taking a graduate seminar called Social Structure. It's a very popular course. We've been discussing friendship, marriage, and other relationships. One of our assignments is to examine the ways that people meet potential husbands and wives. I've been interviewing students on campus all week as part of my study. First, I talked with my roommate in the dormitory, Suk-in, a student from Korea. What's one way to meet a possible mate, I asked her. Well, she said, one method in my country is to have a matched marriage. A what, I asked? I know you can match a tie to a shirt or 2 socks after you do the laundry, but people? Sure, she replied. There aren't many marriages these days, but there were a lot not too long ago. My parents, for example, met each other for the first time on their wedding day. My grandparents chose their children's mates and arranged the wedding. Do you mean that they weren't in love? That sounds awful. Weren't they upset? Maybe a little bit, Suk-in said, but they accepted each other. Then fortunately, they grew to love each other. They've had a good, successful marriage for the past 30 years. This happens in a lot of arranged marriages. I shook my head. Amazing, I said. The next person that I interviewed was Bill, a guy in my business management class. I meet a lot of women in dancing places, at least more than I do on campus, he said. The environment is interesting, and I go every weekend, if possible, to dance or talk or just listen to music. That seems great, I said. I thought so too at first, he said a little sadly. But on the other hand, very often the women in those places are unfriendly. A lot of men are too aggressive, and the women as a result are very cold. Dancing places? Never, said Julie, a student who works part-time in the campus bookstore. I prefer to make new friends at places where people have interests in common. I met my boyfriend at the health club, for example, and it seems that the healthy atmosphere of the gym is continuing into the relationship that I have with him. That sounds wonderful, I said. Yes, she said, I guess so. But to be honest, there's one problem with this arrangement. What, I asked. The truth is that I really hate to exercise, so I don't want to go to the gym anymore. What's my boyfriend going to think when he finds this out? Okay, not very serious. Any questions or comments?
Teacher, explain the last question about the lady. She talked about my boyfriend going to drink when he fight. this out and not know what it means.
Okay, she met him at the gym.
Yes.
She thought that was a good place. And then they seemed to be going out and having a nice relationship. But the truth is, she doesn't really like to exercise and she doesn't want to go to the gym. And she's afraid when the boyfriend finds out, he's not going to be interested in her anymore. Because he wanted to meet a girl who liked to go to the gym the way he did.
It didn't look like her boyfriend tried to look at another lady or not.
And another lady?
No, the first time she go to the gym, but she don't like exercise. But when she find the boyfriend over there, I need to know her boyfriend, he need to go another lady or not, the question, the last question. Why she followed it to
Okay,
go.
I'm sorry, maybe I should have said this ahead of time. This article, a lady is taking a course, this graduate seminar called Social Structure. So she goes around and interviews students in her school.
Yes.
She first interviewed her roommates from Korea who talked about arranged marriages. Then she interviewed a man named Bill who went to dancing places. And the last person she interviewed, Julie, said she met her boyfriend at the gym.
Yes. I don't know what happened on her boyfriend.
We don't know what happened. She said when her boyfriend finds out, she's afraid for her boyfriend to find out. It is not unusual for people to pretend that they have interests they really don't have in order to meet somebody. So if a girl meets a guy somewhere and she finds out from a friend he loves opera, and she really wants to meet him and go out with him, she'll get a book and try to study about the opera so she can talk to him about it. Maybe she hates opera, but she's going to fake it out so she can meet him. People do that all the time.
Thank you.
Great pretender. No, great pretender.
Yeah, the Great Pretender. That's an old song, huh? All right, so I think you should be, will you begin reading? So Prague, will you begin reading? Meeting the perfect mate.
For the past month, I have been taking a graduate seminar called Social Structure. It's a very popular course. We have been discussing friendship, marriage, and other relationships. One of our assignments is to examine the way that people meet potential husbands and wives. I have been interviewing students on campus or week as part of my study.
Continue, Prague.
First, I talked with my roommate in a dormitory shop in
Sukin, that's her name.
Sukin, a student from Korea. What's one way to meet a possible mate? I asked her. Well, she said, one method in my country is to have a mate married.
Okay, good, Prague, thank you. Mr. Singh, would you continue? The next line is a what?
A what? I asked. Now you can match a tie to a shirt, or two socks as they do the laundry, but people should. She replied, there are many arranged marriage these days, but they were not long ago. My parents, for example, met each other for the first time on their wedding day. My grandparents chose their children's maps and arranged the wedding. Do you mean that they were in love? That sounds awful. Weren't they upset? Maybe a little bit. So insane. But they accepted each other then. Fortunately, they grew to love each other. They have had good, successful marriage for the past 30 years. This happens in a lot of arranged marriages. I shook my head. Amazing, I said.
Thank you, good. All right, no, will you continue?
The next person that I interviewed was Bill, a guy in my business management classes. I meet a lot of women in dancing classes, at least more than I do on campus, he said. The environment is interesting and I go every weekend, if possible, to dance or talk or just listen to music. That seems great, I said. I thought so too. At first, he said a little sadly, but on the other hand, very often the women in those places are unfriendly. A lot of men are too aggressive, and the women as a result are very cool.